Howdy folks, welcome to Final Fantasy Friday here at Rudros Entertainment. Last week, we took a look at the top 10 worst things in Final Fantasy TCG. If you missed that video, click right here or the link in the description below. This week, what are your top 10 favorite things about Final Fantasy trading card game? What brings you back to the game to keep playing? Here are my top 10 best aspects of FFTCG currently in no particular order. Honorable mention, the art. The same spot on last week's list, it gets another mention here for the art that is genuinely great. Original art by Fumio Miyagawa, Ruby Asami, and Toshitaka Matsuda, among others, shows the potential of how stunning this game can look when they put in the effort. And I'm a complete homer for any classic Yoshitaka Amano art that takes me back to my childhood. Number 10, the 50 card limit. Restrictions can make one stronger. Such is the case with the hard 50 card deck limit. No more, no less. You must meet that number exactly. While I appreciate the freedom of games like Magic and Lorcana allowing you to break this limit, there is also something to be said about the refinement of cutting cards on the fringe and keeping only what you absolutely value. It is a difficult process that can keep you revisiting a list over and over until you found the perfect 50, at which point you'll do it all over again. Number 9, the forgiving Mulligan. While not the ace in the hole that Disney Lorcana's Mulligan provides, Final Fantasy's Forgiving Mulligan still far and away exceeds Magic the Gathering's penalizing restart, Pokemon's awful give your opponent freebies, or Yu-Gi-Oh's you got what you got. In Final Fantasy, seeing simply 5 cards is often a case for disaster, so the ability to get one free restart is very welcome. This hardly prevents bricking your opening pieces, but anything to mitigate bad luck will always get a salute from me. Number 8, special abilities. A criminally underutilized feature, the Final Fantasy Specials is an excellent idea in theory. With the non-multiplayable cards running around, additional copies of that same card suddenly become worthless in hand. Special abilities not only bring out the theme of famous Final Fantasy characters, but allow you to turn otherwise unusable cards into a chance at victory. A good idea that is sadly let down by a lack of implementation and the awkwardness of drawing cards at the wrong time or in the wrong order. Still, a good design space for the game, especially with the unique character rule. Speaking of which, number 7, the unique character rule. Although themes should never override game balance, here is an instance where the game gets away with it. By limiting a unique character to a single copy on the field at once, it gives the weight of these characters impact. It feels like I'm using the real Cecil when he comes into play. Lorcana does not have this rule, and it's absurdly strange just to see 3 copies of Elsa sitting next to each other on the field. What the heck, did she clone herself? Maybe it's the FF bias in me, but it just feels wrong to see. From a gameplay perspective, unique characters are a hassle more than anything, especially with how the design team loves to give us the same characters 5 times over, but I do appreciate the thematic impact it has. Number 6, drawing 2 cards a turn. FFTCG's second best feature, drawing 2 cards a turn has made every other card game feel insanely slow by comparison. Double the pleasure and double the fun. Having 1 extra card allows you to have 1 extra chance to dig for the card you need in a crucial situation. Nothing is worse than in Magic knowing that you need that 4-cost depopulate to wipe the board, but you also need the 4th land to play the damn thing, and you can't possibly get both in one draw. In Final Fantasy, that is possible. And while each game is balanced around its own internal settings, I'll take the double draw from FF any day of the week. Number 5, the Master Case. I've never even bought one, and I still appreciate what a cool concept this is. If you play FF for a long time and try to go to another TCG, you'll realize how spoiled you are by Final Fantasy collecting. A master case allowing you to get everything you could want for a single opus is a smashing idea. Sadly, the new signature cards completely blew that apart, but in spite of that, guaranteeing yourself one of every full art amongst playsets of everything else is a wonderful thing to be able to buy on demand. Number 4, the price point. Going along with number 5, the price point for FFTCG is about as good as it gets. My local shop sold a full box for around $90, which feels like an absolute steal, especially when Lorcana wants $144 for a single box with 12 less packs in it. Get out of here with that. I suppose the one positive about a game that nobody knows about is that there's no competition, so FF is incredibly friendly on your wallet. And with the cards in your deck limited to 3 apiece instead of the usual 4, it's very affordable to get a competitive level deck without dancing for money down at the corner of the Crate and Barrel. Number 3, Final Fantasy characters. What drew me into the game originally, playing with the characters I've loved for so long, is the reason I'm talking to you right now. Creating a full team of Guardians from Final Fantasy X, bringing the Returners together with all the FF6 Amano art, or sending the Scions to do battle from Final Fantasy XIV. This game absolutely delivers on showing off the characters from the games. Theme is usually a priority for the developers, often to the detriment of game balance, but as someone who loves the games as much as I do, it does put a smile on my face to see it happen. Number 2, no mana curve. If you are playing Lorcana, you aren't playing that 7-cost Be Prepared board wipe until you've reached your 7th Inkwell. And unless you have some ramp, that's not happening until turn 7. Final Fantasy says, no, forget that. You want to play 7-cost Warrior of Light turn 1? Power to you, baby! Step on the gas! Let's go! Woo! With nothing restricting the majority of cards from spilling onto the field whenever you desire, FF has a freedom that most card games do not. You, as the player, get to choose how quickly or slowly you want to play, and when to drop that powerful 9-cost bomb. This also alleviates dead turns where you don't see backups, but instead of just having to pass the turn, you can at least put out a forward, even if it's not an optimal strategy. Granted, this is usually an illusion of success, as your deck is no longer doing what it was built for, but I'll take the illusion every day of the year over a game like Magic that says, you drew too much, or too little mana, now please just sit there and do nothing. Number 1, cards as resources. To piggyback off number 2, being able to discard your cards from hand to generate CP is, without a doubt, Final Fantasy's strongest feature. It's what allows you to break away from the mana curve and limits you only by the resources available to you right at that very moment. You are no longer tied to a turn count or a "you must be this tall to ride" feeling of waiting. You can be as aggressive or patient as you prefer, and you can even change that depending on the game you are in. It also gives another level of skill to the game where you are making decisions from turn 1, as many cards you discard to the break zone are going to stay there for the rest of the game. If you pitch your 1 copy of Behemoth King early with no resurrection later, that's where he's going to stay. But you, as the player, get to make that decision. Yes, this does enable some unhealthy play patterns where you are dealing with a 6-cost Neo X death on turn 1, and fun is but a vague concept in a distant dictionary. But it's also what makes Final Fantasy trading card game the game it is. And that's it. The 10 best things going in FFTCG today. Did I leave something off the list? Something on here you disagree with? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button for more Final Fantasy videos just like this every Friday. We are so close to 1,000 subs, and your help in reaching that goal is greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, take care.